All right. Zoom is saying that we're live, but y'all know I have to check it for myself. So let's see if I can see us in the group. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. I see that I don't see our show banner. So let's go and find that.
There it is.
Yep, I just popped it up. And are we in the group? I still don't see us, even though it says we're live. So let's renew. I got something new going on with the with my
Shay,
web browser.
I can't hear you.
I wonder why you can't hear me. Is my mic on?
I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me good, Heather?
Yeah.
Did you hear a disturbance when I was talking?
Did I hear which disturbance?
Like a intermission or lagging or anything?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Demetra?
I'm getting lagging on my end.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what to do about that.
No, I mean, like, I don't know if the lagging is on my end or it's just lagging, let's just say, but let's see what happens.
It might be your end, Demetra, because just as you were talking, it was skipping. So it might be your end. I'm not sure. But we're going to get started. So welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures in Business morning show. We have just come down from Blog Talk. And so we have revealed what we are talking about in this week. And so guess what? It's another transformational topic. You guys know that I sit down over the weekend and I think about what is something that is going to be of value to you guys, especially something that could be hindering you from making your first six figures in business. And when I sat down and thought about it yesterday, one of the things that I am talking to entrepreneurs about all the time is pricing. And pricing is so important because what's happening is sometimes you're not making it to your first six figures in business because your offer isn't priced correctly. Right? So how much our offer is directly affects how hard we have to work to make our revenue goals. So you can either be Walmart or you can be Jaguar. Okay. So Walmart means you got the lowest price. Right. And so you're going to have to sell volume to get to your milestone of your first six figures. You got to be selling. You got to be a selling machine to get that low price stuff up to your first six figures. However, Jaguar, right? You can sell a Jaguar, just a few of those and make it. We're gonna say not even new Jaguars, because a new one could hit your first six figures. You sell only one, right? So let's just say a used Jaguar, maybe you have to sell a couple or three and you hit your six figure. So your pricing is directly related to how hard you are going to have to work to make it to your first six figures. However, it seems that entrepreneurs and small business owners have some reluctancy around pricing. Okay, we have what I don't know if you guys have heard this phrase before, but you have what we call confidence pricing issues. Okay, and that's our first problem that we're discussing, and I'm going to give you the solution. So what if I were to tell you that your confidence is costing you, right? Your confidence is costing you. And so if you don't get your confidence up, you can't get your revenue up, because some of you are doing what we call, I don't know if you've heard it before, confidence pricing. And this means that you're not comfortable pricing your offer at the higher price that either you know it should be, that you know it's going in the industry, that you know other people are charging, or that you know that the transformation is worth. You're simply not charging enough. And so it's costing you. Another thing that we discussed this morning, I'm trying to see it. I think we're still live in the group. I don't see us moving okay, I see something. All right, tell me something. But that confidence pricing is costing you. So how do we not price our confidence? Okay. Well, the first resolution that I gave is do your homework. Do your homework. Don't just price stuff at what you think it is. Don't, do I want to say it? Do I want to say it? Stop pulling pricing out your ass. Okay. There is actually calculations that help you to get to your price point that you should be offering. So yeah, I'm going to say it. Stop pulling that pricing out of your ass because it's dirty coming out of there. It's not enough. Okay. It's dirty. So pricing actually has a formulation to it. What is the transformation? What is that transformation going for, right? How strong is your brand? Now, I'm going to say, if you have confidence issues, you may or may not have a strong brand. Some of you have a strong brand. You just assume that your people won't pay. Okay. You haven't even tried to offer your transformation at the price that it should be. So the first thing is you have to do the calculations and the research to figure out what is your transformation worth? What is it going for? What does the market say? What are the competitors pricing it at? Start there. Okay. Now, can you put it at the right price? Still can't? Okay. Maybe you are feeling a little imposter syndrome, right? Maybe you're feeling a little like, I don't know if I'm the one to get the people the transformation. So now you need to focus on getting the people that pay you their transformation. And as you get the transformation, you get your testimonials. And as you get your testimonials, you have your proof. You have proof that you can get the people to the transformation. So now you should be able to charge for the transformation, right? Oh, okay. So you mean to tell me, you know what the industry is charging? You know what your competitors are charging. You know you can get people the transformation and you still can't charge the worth of your offer? Then it's you. Yep, it's you. You have to get out of your own way. You have to get the therapeutic tools that help you to conquer what's telling you whatever that stop is, right? Whatever that governor is in your brain that's telling you not to take that price up, that you feel uncomfortable about taking that price up. We need to get some tools to get beyond that. Okay? Because again, pricing is important. Pricing tells us how hard we're going to have to work to get to our milestones and our revenue goals. So I want to know, we're going to start with Heather. I want to know, have you heard of that thing called confidence pricing? Do you at all suffer from such a thing? And do you need tools to get over it? Tell us about it.
So I didn't know that it was called confidence pricing, but I learned a very expensive lesson a couple of years ago about it. Yes. I was doing a website like refresh for somebody. I was helping them out. Mm-hmm. And the price I quoted, she was like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Well, yeah, like it's not going to take me very long. It's, kind of a friends and family thing, right? Because I had been working with her for a while, loved her, trust her, all the stuff." And she said, "Yeah, that's great, but you should be pricing according to what this project is worth to me, because I would have paid you 10 times that."
Yes.
Times.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Now, this is the funny thing, right? And it's not funny, ha, it's funny, he, as in not funny at all. Some people, when you give them the low price, instead of them jumping right on it because they think, oh, it's such a value, they don't want to work with you because they know the real value of the transformation. If you're not charging anywhere close to that value, they don't think that you can service them and get them to the transformation. So that's a great point, Heather, a great point. So have you since cured your confidence pricing?
Mostly. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's still a work in progress. But it mostly, yes. And now I've also learned through you and other geniuses that join us almost every morning to say the price and then shut up.
Yes.
And then just shut up.
Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Do not feel the air. Just be quiet.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a great tip. Because what happens when we feel the air is sometimes it takes people a while to process. Sometimes they're just thinking about how they're going to move money to give you your money. Okay. Sometimes they're thinking about, oh, I know somebody else that need this. I need to go tell this person. So sometimes it's not a bad thing that there's this air, right? That there's this space. So stop trying to fill it.
Yep.
Once you give your price, you allow them to fill the air with whatever they want to fill the air with so that you know how to respond. Don't think that you know what's going on in their head. So I like that. Thank you so much for the value adds. Now we're going to go to Demetra. Demetra, had you heard of confidence pricing? Do you suffer from that? And do you need any tools to help you with that? Uh-oh, Demetra is trying to come on another device. So I'm going to go to Cheryl. Cheryl, have you heard of confidence pricing? And do you suffer from it? And do you need any tools so that you can come up out of that thing?
No, I hadn't heard of confidence pricing, but I don't suffer from it. One of the things that I learned a while ago with a coach that I work with, and she said, if especially if you're starting out and you do have, issues with pricing, don't charge what you're worth, charge what your customer's worth. And, and I thought about that and I said, well, I got to believe I'm worth more than that. And then I thought, no, in this situation, they're worth more because they are paying me, which is feeding my table. And so it was like, that was it for me. And then she had this process that you went through, and she called it the fastest path to cash.
Ooh.
It worked like a dream. And I'm telling you, so yeah, it's, if we can get past the pricing and we understand who our target audience is, because they may be willing to pay the price, but they may not necessarily be our people. And we learn this when we start working with them, even though they pass the questionnaires, because we're real good at answering questions these days. And oh yeah, I know what I need to put here. But then when you start working with them, you realize that it's not going to work because they're not our people. And I release the mic.
Very true. Very true. Demetra, I'm coming to you next, but before we do, we're going to say good morning to Tay Lee. And Teray was over there on Facebook, and now she's over here with us in the VIP lounge, right? So good morning, Tay Lee. I see we have 2 others with us. And so good morning, good morning. Feel free to leave a comment. And we will definitely answer you back. So you can be a part of the show too in these comments. We love you. So Demetra, have you ever heard of confidence pricing? Do you suffer from such a thing? And do you need any tools to come up out of it?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Demetra of My Tutor Helps Me Educational Services. In regards to your question, confidence pricing, I think I have heard of it from you a couple of years ago. If I remember correctly. And yes, I did suffer imposter syndrome and all that other, kind of stuff. But I have learned that through hiring coaches that, a formula in regards to, you had mentioned formula in your video today, in today's session. And yeah, so there was a particular formula that you should use when you're charging for tutoring. Had I not known that formula, I might have priced myself way below the pricing that I see other tutors doing. However, that's not my pricing, and I have since then increased from that. So yes, I've heard of confident pricing from you, and I appreciate you teaching me this a very, very, very long time ago to be, confident in your pricing. And there was something else that you said, but I'm gonna let you pick somebody, talk to somebody else. I can't remember what it was.
No problem. If you remember it, let me know, because I bet it was good. Good. So next up, we got Leticia has joined us this morning. Leticia, have you heard of confidence pricing? Do you suffer from such a thing? And do you need any tools to apply to your business so that we can get to this money?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you? So I've never heard of confidence pricing, but I have heard of something called a confidence curve that I had from a coach. And so what she would tell me is, if I'm not sure my price, starts somewhere, and the confidence curve is to get me to the pricing that I want it to be. So that has worked really, really, really well for me. Starting off somewhere and then moving the needle on the price of something. So yes. Imposter syndrome. I don't think I have imposter syndrome, but I'm also very techie and introverted. So I do like to be behind the scenes. And so sometimes that makes a challenge because people want to put you more in the front, but I love to be behind. So I think that's more of my challenge than anything.
Awesome, awesome. So you revealed one of my secret tools, confidence curve. Yes, definitely. Because at the end of the day, so this is what I like to say, right? I don't like to push people to make their offer a high ticket offer or try to make them charge what it's worth. Because at the end of the day, they are the people that have to sell it. And if they can't sell it with confidence, they will not sell it at all. Either they won't do it or people won't buy because of that lack of confidence. Because if you don't believe in it, why would I pay for it? Right? So that's the first thing. So I also have learned about confidence pricing, but it's also an industry thing, right? Have you ever heard of introductory offer? Have you ever heard of beta offer, right? You can come out low. You simply have to have a plan for how are you going to get up to market value at least, right? And so we do what we call price stacking, okay? Price stacking. And what that is the first person may pay right here, right? And then you get them the transformation and the second person might pay right here. And then the third person might pay right here. And eventually you make it to the price that it needs to be because that's the price of the transformation. So Leticia out here giving out secret weapons before I get to it, but thank you. I'm telling y'all, that's why we have guests on this morning show, because we have more geniuses than just me. We have more experts than just me. So I love that you guys know these things and know other tools. And with that, we're going to go to Teray. Teray over there driving, but she can listen. Don't look at us, Teray. Don't look at us, okay? But have you heard of confidence pricing? Do you suffer from such a thing? And do you need any tools? We've already given a couple of tools, but hey, do you think they'll work for you?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Teray, and I suffer from confidence pricing.
Oh, Lord.
That imposter syndrome is real. You know what I mean? And I feel like, and I'm always aware of it because I feel like whenever I set my price and I feel like it's too high or somebody won't pay it, then I feel like it's linked to my personality, or at least not my personality as much as how I feel about pricing. Like, we talked before about, like, I'm not really a salesperson. So whenever it comes to price stuff or for customers to pay something, then it's like, you know what I mean? I don't want, I'm desperate for the sale. So I want to have them as a customer, even if it costs less. But I don't deal with that so much anymore, because what I realize is that if I price it too low, I'm not getting the customer I really want. Exactly. And also what Heather said earlier about say the price and shut up. I have an example. Whenever I was selling life insurance, I had my license in 5 states. So I would travel to Indiana because we were trying to tap into that market. But Indiana, what I was told from some of the leads that I got was that they don't like Black people out there. Like, they were like, are you just door knocking people's doors? Like, Pete, and I'm like, whatever, So I went to this one couple's house, and, I went to their house. I'm doing my little spiel, and usually people will nod and like, okay, and I have a question about that. They interact with you. This customer sat like this.
Goodness.
The whole time. It was not like anything I ever experienced, right? And so I'm talking, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, so let me go on to the next topic. You know what I mean? They would not respond, and I'm thinking to myself, these people are not going to buy it. But I was like, no, I'm here. I'm determined to do my little spiel or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I did what Christine told me. I'm going to assume the sale. Okay, I'm going to be like, okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get you set up. How much insurance would you like? And they looked down at the paper, they looked up at me, they looked at each other, and they both each bought the highest insurance product I had.
Yes.
I had
because you were quiet.
Because I was quiet. I assumed the sale and I was quiet because I was like, what I wanted to say was, if you, I can come back another time if you guys want to think about it, because that's the energy I felt like they were giving me.
Yes.
And I was like, no, I'm going to assume the sale. And I assumed the sale. So I used that strategy with the pricing. I'm going to set
Yes.
my price and I'm going to assume that sale. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I'm gonna let them figure out how they're gonna pay me. I did my job. I'm confident in the fact that I did my job in telling them what the transformation was gonna be, how to solve their problem, and they're gonna buy it or they're not. But I'm gonna assume that they are because I already know that I've met their need. And
Exactly.
I've gotten so many sales that way. So I wanna say that I no longer suffer from that because I
Yes.
figured it out, but I understand it. Okay. So,
Yes.
but that's all. That's you know.
But I love it because you just revealed another secret weapon. And actually, I only heard this secret weapon recently. Now that I have a new coach, a new sales coach, Coach Pam taught me, she calls it a presumptive close. But it's the same thing as what Teray said, right? You have to assume the sale. Don't pause and then lose your confidence and then start to move and have the energy as though you've lost the sale. Start immediately acting as though you have the sale already. What do we do next? How do I get you started? All right, our next steps are all of those things, presumptive close. So y'all are just revealing secret weapons out here. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so another thing about pricing your stuff too low is when you price your offer too low, especially as a service, you can't even show up in the correct energy to give your best for that service. Because go back to what we said about Walmart or Jaguar. You got so many Walmart customers that there is no way that you can service them all with excellence because you have too many, right? And so when you have customers who are doing the thing that is paying you for the transformation, you have fewer customers, but they're paying you more. You don't need as many customers. And guess what? Those fewer customers, you can service them way more than you can service people like a cattle call. I want you to think about when you have paid for a service and it was very cheap, right? And there were a lot of people getting that service. What was that experience like, right? What was that experience like? I love in customer service to talk about McDonald's versus Chick-fil-A or Publix grocery store versus all other grocery stores, right? And I love talking about Disney versus, other theme parks, Universal or whatever. Because when you pay more, you should be getting an experience that's not the same as if you pay less. The transformation and the experience should be different. Right? So anytime that you are afraid of your pricing, what I say is add experience in there. Make sure people are getting their money's worth so that you are giving them what they expect. You are giving them what they want and you're giving them the transformation. So that's a little tidbit too. So let's go to Miss Alicia Brown. Thank you for joining us on the morning show this morning. Alicia, have you heard of confidence pricing? And do you suffer from such a thing? And do you need more tools? Because these tools, tell me, do you think that they'll work for you, the ones that have already been revealed?
I haven't been on the call the entire time, but yes, I've already gotten some great tools that I feel like I can use or I can start implementing because as Teray said, the imposter syndrome is real. And so now that I'm kind of in full entrepreneurship mode, I have been struggling with that. And so price stacking really stood out to me. Like I know my service is valuable, but really just being able to price myself appropriately and then transitioning out of the I just want to help others mindset. So like I want to provide a service that's valuable to help them build their business and scale and grow. And so I did learn some of this from you as well, how to price myself and that, really getting an idea of my ideal client, because when you're kind of thrust into full-time entrepreneurship and you really want to stay there, because I don't want my service or my business to become a side hustle. I don't want it to become that. And so right now, I've been thrust in a situation where it's easier for me to create strategy for other people's businesses. It's almost like I can see their business more clearly than I can see my own. And so that is where, like, I was just telling one of my colleagues that, like, I'm my own client right now. Like, I need the strategy. I need to figure out, because now I need income and I'm trying not to go into panic or survival mode and be like, let me just go get a job. You
Yes.
know, like, so that is where I am. And it's, you know, I don't have the money to invest in a good coach that I need. And then I realized, so I do have a question about, okay, once you price yourself, you spoke to it when I first hopped on the call, the confidence to market the price. That's where I am right now, because I know what I should be charging. I'm charging a lot less than that. But when you guys introduce price stacking, how do I have the confidence to market it, or how to market it? So that's where my struggle is.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Heather.
Yes.
Alicia, what is your business?
Okay, so I do administrative and executive coaching and consulting. So I do that. I niche down to food vendors, so food trucks, caterers, and smaller businesses like that have less time to focus on the administrative side of things and the organizational side of things. So my goal is to help them get organized to continue to scale and grow.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. So I love the niche. I think the niche is new to me and I love it.
It is.
So first of all, you do, I think when you came on late, you missed the fact that the first thing you want to do is go ahead and do your research, right? What is the industry charging for what you do? What are competitors charging for what you do? Now, sometimes what we do, we feel like nobody else is doing, somebody's doing it. However, the information may not be readily available. So what is the closest thing? What is the closest industry, right? So that you can kind of compare. That's the first thing. The second thing is going to be, you get confidence from evidence. Okay. So you know that when you know that you can get people the transformation that you are selling, that you are offering, you need to start stacking that evidence through testimonials. And those testimonials are not only going to help your confidence, it's going to help the confidence of people who are thinking about hiring you. Right. Okay. So that's why we need that social proof. We need those testimonials. And these days, video is better. If you can't get video, maybe a picture along with the words is great. So we kind of need that evidence. But another thing is going to be focus on the transformation and not you. Okay. So focus on the pain points that your people are experiencing. And so I'm glad that you gave me the niche of food trucks and food industry catering or whatever, so you can start talking things about, do you just want to mind the food and have somebody else mind the business, right? Are you tired of having to cook and crunch the numbers? Right? How much of your behind the scenes of your business is lacking because you're putting a special sauce on the meat? You know, so you have to go into what is life going to be? What are they struggling with right now? And what is life going to be like when you jump in their business and help them? So you take that spotlight off of you and you put it on them, right? Okay. The pain points, are you tired of experiencing this? Right? The transformation, don't you want this? Haven't you dreamed of? Aren't you ready for that type of thing? So that goes directly to, how do you market with confidence? Get that spotlight off of you, right? Until the time comes where you have that evidence that's going to help you to not feel that imposter syndrome, right? Because I mean, I come out here with all the confidence because I know I can do what I say I'm going to do. And at this point, I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer. So we got evidence upon evidence, right? Just on this call alone, I've had more than a few people say, you taught me, right? Or way back when, because I'm not new to this, right? So you have experiences like that too. Think about some of the people that you have helped, and it doesn't have to be in your official capacity, right? I was helping businesses long before I officially became a fractional chief operating officer. I actually was doing the job and then discovered what that was. Exactly. I don't have an MBA, right? If I let that stop me, I wouldn't be where I am. So I'm going to tell you, in this day and age, evidence trumps credentials. People are tired of buying into people with all of these credentials, and those people can't get them the transformation. Nobody cares about your credentials if you can't help me when I give you my money, right? Yeah. So I'm not saying that credentials aren't valuable. What I'm saying is there are plenty of people with credentials who can't get people to transformation. So there are also plenty of people without the credentials that can.
Right.
And so lean into the evidence that you have that you can produce what you said you can produce. So was that helpful?
That was extremely helpful, because you are so right. I have been advising people on their businesses and how to structure starting up for years. That's how I fell into making this a business.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. No problem. No problem. Good morning, Shawana. Shawana Kennedy has entered the building. Before we get to Shawana, Patricia Wicks over on Facebook has said good morning. So good morning, ladies. And Sylvia has said that what I called it presumptive close, and Teray called, what did Teray call it? She said assume the sale. That's what Sylvia said. It's the law of assumption. So thank you for adding that, Sylvia. I'm telling you, we have smart people around here, y'all. So any gathering of smart people you should want to be a part of. So I am appreciative of everybody that joins the morning show and lends their genius to it. So Shawana, what we're talking about today is, well, what we're talking about this week is pricing and the problems that entrepreneurs are having with pricing. And we're giving solutions. So the first problem that we talked about today is confidence pricing. You are underpricing yourself, and most often it's due to confidence. I talked about do your market research, see what the price is supposed to be, what are other people charging. Then I said, okay, go get your evidence that you can actually get to transformation, just in case it's a little imposter syndrome. And then I said, hey, if you got all this information, if you know you can get the transformation and you still lack the confidence, hey, you might need some therapeutic tools because you are in your own way and it may be a money block. These days, y'all, there are all kinds of money block coaches out here. There are so many niche coaches these days that can help you with different things. We've even talked about some tools. We've talked about price stacking, which is you might start low, but you start coming up. Right? You start coming up, and it doesn't have to take you a long time. Again, price stacking can be the first client is here, the second client, third client. With each client, you can raise that price. Okay. You don't have to wait till, well, I got to service 100 people before I take the price up. No, you do not. Okay. Then we talked about the presumptive close, which is go into it assuming the sale. Go ahead and start talking about how would you like to pay? How would you like to get started? The next steps are, I'm going to send you an email with a link and it's this and it's that. You start acting as though you have the sale. Now, before that, what we talked about was Heather talked about when you give your price, be quiet. Stop filling the air with your lack of confidence. Stop filling the air with you diminishing yourself. Just give your price and be quiet. The next person that speaks needs to be the person that you're talking to, okay? Because you don't know what those people are thinking. Your monkey brain is telling you all these negative things, and you don't know if that's true. They could be thinking, where am I going to move money? They could be thinking, I know somebody else good for this offer. They can be thinking all of these positive things before they answer you. And then guess what? You say, well, what about if I take $1,000 off? Well, they weren't even having a problem with the price. And yes, they're going to take that $1,000 off, and you'll never know what you could have sold it for because you didn't know how to be quiet, right? So with all of that, Shawana, have you ever heard of confidence pricing? Do you suffer from such a thing? And do you now have tools that you feel like that you can employ should you? Because we've talked about it today.
Good morning to all. You know what? A little bit of a lot of what I've heard thus far, I know in times past, and it was not funny, but funny when you gave and you were saying that there was even individuals on the line that you have been able to assist with some of those challenges along the way. I'm definitely one of those people. I don't know that I had ever called it imposter syndrome because I'm confident, but as I was making certain adjustments in this leg of the business, it was then, like you said, you really did have me doing a lot of research, which was part of my homework. And like now it is, the price is the price. And if we are making an adjustment, it's more or less than, I'm still not going to give you all of these line items. We're going to take something off the line item. I definitely have learned over time too, to be quiet because the last person that speaks, because you can talk yourself out of a deal. I've also had to learn that stop counting people's pockets. Like you just said, it's stop counting people's pockets because you don't know what they made, because it's really how important is it to them, right? And then at this stage, depending on what's going on right now, like right now in real life, in real living color, I will say, okay, God, what client is about to take care of that? Because if that's something that we need, right? Because we're all constantly building out. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're saying, I want my business to not only grow, but scale. Okay, what client, what thing now that's about, what tool, what resource? So I'll be quick to say, okay, God, now I actually do need that. So what client are you about to send my way that's going to take care of that ticket item, that line item? And then, not even a shameless plug, even as we prepare, it is coming sooner than later, as we prepare to even come to Mexico for the workshop. I did that same thing. When you laid out that price and said, hey, ladies, this is what it is. I said, okay, God, I actually need to be there. I need to be in her presence, not just online. Who are you about to give me that is going to fund my trip? Amen. That's going to bless and impact other people. So for me, I have over time had certain challenges, but having the conversation, the tough girl, y'all, when I'm dealing with Shay, I put on my big girl panties. Okay. I'm going to just tell you for the record, you have to put on your big girl britches and
a diaper sometimes.
Oh, wow. Now, you know what, Heather? I kind of work
I have
on
a toddler upstairs, so they're readily available for me.
I was about to say, I work on my butt muscles, so I don't have to put on no diaper, but I do wear my big girl bloomers. So with that, and it's good to have, I heard the other young lady even talk about certain coaches. It is when before I was able to tap into some of your services, I still knew that, like right now, you're making yourself accessible. So without it, you're technically are somebody's mentor from a distance. You are someone's coach from a distance. So we have to be mindful. I'm big on watching our words. You just said act as if. It truly is act as if. Act as if you're already working with Shay. Act as if she's already a part of your team. We have to be mindful of the things that we say because we get what we say, and then we have to be ready for it. So I don't know if I answered your question. I do even in new clients and certain things, because, with the business that I do, I may have a list of things, but you already know they will ask you stuff. They will ask you certain things. And then you're saying, hey, we're not going to change. You ain't about to change your website, Shawana. It's not that you can't do that job and, handle that, but we ain't about to change the whole website because they now have asked you something that's not on there. So all of this is definitely relevant. We have to talk about it because you're talking about business, and we are in the business to help the world, but we then have to have the funds to take care of the things on the back end. So pricing is a big key to that because we're supposed to be working smarter, not harder. I have heard it often too. The bigger you go, the less hands you're supposed to have off of it anyway. And we forget that. We cannot be still doing all 10 things. If you are scaling in your business, that should be less things that your hands are actually touching. And sometimes people forget that, or they have that, I don't want to say imposter syndrome, they have that control syndrome. And we have to take our hands off the wheel and take off control and let people do that's the thing that they do. That's what they do. So good morning. Happy Monday. All right, entrepreneurs, business owners, let's go.
But guess what, though? It's hard to afford a team so that you can turn your hands off and somebody else can put their hands on if you're not pricing high enough, right? If your prices can't hold paying a team, then that's a problem, right? Yeah. So I'll tell you another thing, since we're talking about fear and confidence around pricing. Sometimes it isn't the price that you should be uncomfortable with. Sometimes it should be the people who are coming to you trying to get you to lower your price, right? Those are not your people. Okay, it doesn't mean that your price is wrong. It means that's the wrong people. There are plenty of people out here who will pay you for whatever it is at whatever price you have it. You simply have to pay your people. Now, y'all say, I hurt y'all's feelings. I have some mentors that hurt my feelings. One of them, of which is Seth Godin. Seth Godin is like the godfather of marketing, right? And one of the things he said was, if you can't command your price, you do not have a brand. You have a commodity. What? Like what? Like, did we get these logos and these colors and these photo shoots not to have a brand? You know, you mean to tell me that's not the definition of a brand, right? And like I always tell people, their brand is their promise. But guess what? If you don't believe the promise and you can't command top dollar for that promise, what Seth Godin says is you don't have a brand. So I love that, you know, we are understanding the difference between these people who are out here not bringing about the transformation, talking about charging their worth. That's not what we're talking about, okay? We're not charging our worth. We're charging the worth of the transformation, right? Because before you step out there as some type of influencer that anything you put your name on, people want to buy, you don't have a worth to be charging to clients. You are worthy of higher pricing, and it needs to match the transformation. Okay, you can't be out here selling people $7,500, $400 things, right? And you don't give them a value that's worth $7,500, or them getting it from you in particular means something to them. Because that's the difference. People can charge their worth. That's fine. But will people pay it? And if people pay it, give the people what they paid for. Always, always. So I'm never offended when someone has higher prices than me. I say, oh, okay, push the envelope. That means one day I can go up there. You know what I'm saying? It might be one day soon. So I'm never at all offended when people charge more than I charge. That just lets me know how far up I can go, right? I am offended when somebody charges lower because I know they're doing themselves a disservice. I'm not even offended for myself because you can't bring my price down. You know, you can't bring my value down. So I'm not offended in that way, but I am offended in that I really just hope the best for you. And when you're undervaluing and underpricing yourself out of fear, it's going to be harder for you to get to your revenue milestones. We're in this thing for freedom. And guess what? Freedom has to be funded. There's a price for freedom. And if you're not making money in your business, it's probably why you feel held hostage by your business, right? So I'm gonna stop preaching. It's almost time for Heather's writing room. She already put the link in the comments of the Facebook broadcast. So if you want to join us in 2 minutes, I want you to do that. However, if you know that you need help and you need more help than I can give you here, you need to DM me for a free business strategy. Okay. Or you can go to shaycannon.info/free strategy and apply. Okay. Apply. Why? Because my time is valuable and I need to make sure that I can help you. I'm the person for you. So yes, you need to apply. Okay. So I want everybody to have a great day. I will see you again in the morning. Let me tell you guys just here in our morning show that I am traveling this week on Wednesday, and I'm trying to figure out how to do Wednesday. So I'll let you know tomorrow what I come up with, let you guys vote. But in the least, what'll happen is we may not have the morning show on Wednesday. What I might do is simply record a more in-depth conversation for you guys, and you guys can then put in the comments any questions you have. And when I step off that plane and get settled, I'll come right back in later in the day and answer all of your questions. I'll probably give you some question prompts as a part of that recording. Now, next week, we're going to say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There will be no morning show, so I may do the same thing because I'll be at the big Traffic Sales and Profit live event. And you guys know how that's crazy. It starts early in the morning, goes late at night. So ain't no doing all of that. So everything has to be pre-recorded for that. So I look forward to traveling and having a new background. All this uplighting Dr. Tachi taught me to do will be gone. I'll probably be up against a white wall, but you guys will still be getting this good value. So I'll see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat place. And I hope you have a great day and stop confidence pricing. All right. Get your confidence up so we can get this price up so we can hit this first 6-figure goal with revenue. Have a great day, everybody. The room is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day.